All right, welcome back, Computer Information Systems. We are going to get started here working on the Excel Activity 3. Excel Activity 3 is meant to be piggybacked off of Excel Activity 2. So we're actually going to start there looking at our old files. If we're looking in Office 365, you should see your most recent documents here listed, or there might be right up at the top on these thumbnails. If I'm looking at Excel Activity 2 and I open that up, you should have something that looks roughly like this. Now, because we're building on this document, you're going to want to make sure that you're starting off with it correct. If you turned this in on Google Classroom, I tried to give you feedback on any errors or mistakes that you might have made, things that you need to fix. Two things I want you to make sure of before we move forward is just making sure that you've got your states at the top, your countries at the bottom, and that that information is complete. I know when you guys were looking at the website, sometimes you saw blanks on the document. In the world of meters information, or you saw zeros, and some of you, when you saw a zero, you just decided to leave that blank, and I understand that, but as we're moving forward to charts and as well as formulas, those blank cells are going to become a problem. So we always need to make sure when we're working with numbers that we actually list 0 as a number. Okay, if I look here on the assignment and I put in a 0 right here, I'm going to see that it gives me this little dash symbol. Now that's correct. That's kind of a stylistic way of representing a 0. I believe that's built into the comma style that we applied to this area that's making a 0 look like a dash. Even though it looks cosmetically like a dash, I want you to notice that when we want to see what's actually happening in that cell, it's better to look up at the formula bar, and you'll notice that the formula bar right now shows a 0. Okay, so my 111 shows 111 at the top. My little dash symbol shows a 0, so that 0 is actually what that dash represents. Okay. The last thing we want to do after making sure that this information is correct is we want to create a new version of the file, which will be activity number 3. Okay, so we're going to get in this habit because we're going to progress in a similar fashion moving forward. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on File, and I'm going to click Save As. You'll see in this menu we have the option to save as, save a copy online. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click that, and this time I'm going to change this to Excel Activity 3. When I click Save, which I'm not going to do, but you are going to do, is click Save. What you're going to see is, basically what you're going to have is now two files. You're going to have Excel Activity 2, which is protected. It now is going to look like this. And all the changes that we make to the new file are the changes that are going to be reflected on Excel Activity 3. Okay, so I am going to open, so the first step that I want you to do, and you'll probably want to pause this in a second, but I want us to actually update our information. This is a common practice when you're working with spreadsheets and data. I want you to get the feeling of like updating numbers in a spreadsheet, as well as I want you to be looking at what are the actual number changes of the coronavirus in the states and countries that you selected. I want you to have an opportunity to kind of engage with what those changes in numbers mean, how they hit you, when you see what those numbers looked like 5 days ago as opposed to today, and how those numbers have increased maybe that'll give you a moment to kind of think about that information. So that process, just to break it down for you, I'm not going to change my state names. I'm not going to change my country names. I'm going to follow this link and open it up. And then here, if I click on countries, I'll have an opportunity to look through. Now, remember that the now information is today, and so it is not complete information. What I want you to do is I want you to click on yesterday. This gives you completed information for total cases, new cases, total, and new deaths. Fill those in for the 5 countries you selected. Then go to the USA, and we're going to do the same thing for the states. We're going to click on yesterday, not now, but yesterday information. We're going to go through and fill out that information for the 5 states that we had researched before. And after you make that change, you'll have something that looks like this. Make sure that you change the date to reflect when you, what is the day of the information you're collecting. That's important, so that we're referring to accurate information according to the time, the date that we're taking that information. Okay, so at this point, like I said, you probably want to pause and go through and work on completing that task. After we've updated our file name and updated our numbers, we're now going to try to sort out our tables. Depending on how you collected your information, the states might be in alphabetical order. It might be a number, according to their total cases, it might be in order. Or like me, you might have just randomly picked states that you were thinking about, and so they might have showed up in kind of a random order. The first thing I'm going to show you is just a cautionary tale, which is, let's say I wanted to sort this information and I wanted my states to be in alphabetical order. What I might do incorrectly is highlight those states, go to the sort button, this is in the home tab editing group, and go ahead and click sort. But what you might notice if you were watching carefully is that I did sort my states alphabetically, but it didn't change the numbers. So now, Virginia's numbers are now being represented as Florida's numbers, and that's not accurate, and that's not okay when you're working with data. So instead, what we have to do is we have to make sure we select the entire area that we want sorted. And in this way, it's going to know to keep the state information and the numbers that belong to it, stacked up and lined up with one another. So I'm going to highlight the entire area. I'm going to go back into my sort, and here I'm going to click on sort ascending. Now my states are in order, and I can see that Virginia has the correct information. All the information has gone correctly in order of state. We're going to do it another way. That's kind of a quick sort option, but I'm going to show you something else. We're going to reselect the area, make sure that it's selected. Okay. Notice I'm not selecting outside of this area at all. I'm going to go back to the sort and filter. Now these two options, sort ascending and sort descending, are kind of quick options, and they're always going to sort by the leftmost column. Alright, so in this case it would be by state. But right underneath that we have what's called custom sort. And here's what I want you to do, is click on that, which will open up this dialog box. In this dialog box, we're going to have an option to sort. So first off, at the top I have this checkbox that says my data has headers. What are my headers? It's this row right here in row 4, state, total cases, new cases, total deaths, and new deaths. And while this check mark is on, you can see that here those headings are actually listed right here. If I turn that off, It's just going to list it by column. That can still work, but the problem is it might organize state after, New York, because LMNOP right? So it's going to sort the headings as if they're just another piece of information. So I'm going to click that box on, and what I want you to do is I want to sort by total cases, and we're going to sort that descending. There's some other options here that we're going to get into at a later date, but right now we're just sorting by total cases, cell values, and descending. Click OK, and this is what I have. New York with the most cases, Virginia with the least cases, according to my data. We're going to do that exact same thing with the countries. Highlight, sort, custom sort. We're going to make sure it says my data has headers. We're going to sort by total cases, and we're going to sort descending. Okay. So here we have our information. It's not pretty. If you're looking at the actual numbers and thinking about them, of course, nothing with this coronavirus is pretty. But let's go on to our next task. Here we're going to take our state information and we're going to represent it as a table. So here I'm going to highlight. First off, if I highlight all of the information and I go into the Insert tab, I am going to click on, let's say, column chart. Here I have a list of options. We're going to check the leftmost option, which is called clustered column. And that is going to display this here. Okay, I talk too much. This timing is tight. Let me go through and get this done quickly. The first thing I want you to see is that with the numbers we have selected, we have a big bar for New York, and then all the other information is really small, and they don't really display anything. This is a big problem with statistics, and it means that you have to be careful about the numbers, the type of numbers that you use when you're building a table, because we want these bars to actually mean something. Okay, we're gonna click on our chart and press delete to get rid of it. This time what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the state information and just the total cases. That's going to get rid of some of these other bars here. I'm also going to, sorry, you'll have to excuse this. This is my Zoom video that I'm watching to see if there's anybody who joins. Here I'm going to go back into Insert. So I've selected my state and total cases. And I'm going to click on, this time I'm going to click on a bar chart. Okay, here I'm selecting less information, and I'm choosing a slightly different chart to use. And you can see here now that information is represented a little bit better here. We have total cases is written at the top. We have our states along the left and our numbers along the right. We're going to do a couple quick things to make this, no, I'm out of time. So I'm going to create another video to show you what we're going to do next. And the next one should be pretty short. Until then, see you.